Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Nate's DIY Gardening. Today we're going to talk about planting some carrots and possibly planting some broccoli. Before we get started, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. This will make my videos more searchable on YouTube. Let's get started. Alright, so I am in the process of getting ready to plant some carrots for the fall. I'm a little late. Carrots usually takes about 60 to 70 days, so I will be cutting it close. This will bring me to about mid-October-ish time frame. But today I got more potting mix and stuff down here, plus some other amendments I'm gonna do with the soil. So one of the things you need to realize when you go to if you don't have compost, if you're not doing compost at your place, or you can't get access to compost, when you go to the box market stores like Home Depot or Lowe's, they'll have the Miracle-Gro, the potting mix, the raised beds type dirt and soil there for you to use. But what you come to realize is that they're not, even though they're not as good a quality as they should be. So you still need to amend those types of soil if you get those from Home Depot or from Lowe's. So what I'm gonna do is, the first thing I have is this organic all-purpose plant food. Something I just kind of like an extra fertilizer, some other stuff that's in there, phosphate, that I'm gonna mix in with the dirt when I put it in the Rubbermaid container for my carrots. It's a good thing to add to your soil to amend it. Also, I have crushed eggshells. So what I do is, anytime we use eggs or whatever, we'll crack them, use them, and then what we'll do is we'll rinse them and then dry them out. And then once we dry them out, we put them in a blender, and they'll come down to like this quality right here. Before I just tried to mash them before, but what I learned was they really don't break down too well in the soil. So you really need to kind of put them in a blender to get them down to this quality, to this small, finer grade, and they'll break down more easily in the soil. So let's go ahead and get started in putting the soil in my Rubbermaid container over here. All right, so this is my container. I grew potatoes in here this spring. They came out all right, not quite what I wanted, but I'm starting to realize I need to do a little bit of research on my soil mixture and see I have all the right things in here. So, but all you're gonna do is just put a razor blade, cut it open. I'm just gonna dump it in here. Right, and then you just kind of break down the bigger clumps. Okay, so we got the dirt in there now. So now we're going to add the amendments, the eggshells, and the fertilizer compound. And all you're doing is coming in here, kind of grabbing a handful, and you just kind of sprinkling around like that. There's no like measuring cup or anything like that. You're just kind of sprinkling around until it's covered. And once that's done, get the eggshells. You just kind of mix it in there like that. So eggshells are good for calcium in the soil. So that's why you want to put eggshells in your soil as an amendment. And from there, you just kind of mix it in a little bit. You don't want to go too deep. Like I said, if I was doing this in ground, then I might be using like a rake to go over it very lightly. Just kind of get it in there. And from there, you can either do it like a line, or you just or 3 inches apart. So 3 inches, kind of like a knee hack on your index finger. Your index finger on average is about 1 inch. You want them 3 inches apart. So 1 inch, 2 inches. The second line is 2 inches, and down here is 3 inches. So kind of make a hole, 3 inches, and right here, 3 inches. So you kind of do it like that. And it's kind of hard to see with the shade and stuff. And with the carrots, it's kind of, they're like very fine seeds. I don't know if you can see in there. So usually with seeds, you know, as much as possible, you want your seeds to germinate and stuff like that. Especially when you're planting outside, there's sometimes where your seeds, every seed won't germinate. So you want to make, when you put them into the hole, right, like that, just a little bit. So you might get a few in each hole. And what happens is, you know, whatever is the strongest, you leave it in there, and whatever's the weakest, you just kind of pull out, and maybe you can plant it in something else, or you just throw it away. But what you're looking for is the strongest to survive once you plant your carrots. So when you do from seed, especially when you're doing in ground, a lot of times they'll, instead of doing the holes like I did, they'll do a whole line just come across like that, and then they'll thin to 3 inches. So there's something to keep in mind next time you do carrots, especially from seeds, in the ground or outside. If you do it inside, you usually have like a little separator or some kind of tool where you can separate the seeds and put them in each container. But that's all I'm doing right here is planting my carrots for the fall. I'm going to plant, I got some broccoli plants that I need to plant, get a little dehydrated because they've been inside for a couple of days, so I need to get those in the ground. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I have some soil over there. I'm gonna do the same thing, put it in a raised bed, mix in some fertilizer compound that I got, and then the eggshells, and I'll mix that in, and then I'll plant my broccoli, which is gonna be in the bed behind you. I wanted to show something before we end. Show a couple of my tomatoes, because they're huge. I don't know if you see right here. So this is probably well over a pound, maybe 1.5 pounds. So that's one. They're starting to split. So I need to go ahead and pull this one. This is probably about 1 pound too. So these, for those who don't know, I grow Brandywine tomato plants. These are heirloom type tomato plants. The reason I grow these because even the cool weather of October, I can still get tomato plants in October, tomatoes in October, because they're heirloom and they can handle the cool weather a lot better than some of the other tomato plants. So that's why I plant these every year. So, but they're huge. I usually get 1 pound. As I get into October, they'll be a little smaller, but just want to show you that as an update of how my tomatoes are doing. But that's it for right now. I got a couple more things to do in the garden. But again, if you like what you're seeing, I'm gonna ask that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Also, make sure you tell your friends and your family. Tell them about my YouTube channel so we can get my subscribership up. Until next time, I'll see you later.